Hi folks, I'm Prof. Hale. In this video, I'm going to give you some tips for emailing your professors. Now to do this, I'm going to break this video down into 3 sections. First, I will provide you with a general broad strokes understanding of business and professional email etiquette. After that, I'll give you some specific best practices for composing a clear and effective email. And finally, I will end with a rapid-fire list of 10 things to avoid when emailing your professor. Now, if you're new here, hi, I make videos to help you succeed as a student or working professional. If you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel. And if you have a request for a video, idea, leave that in the comment section below and I'll try to get to it. All right. Back to the email thing. You have a question, concern, a complaint, or a request, some sort of message, in other words, and you want to clearly and effectively communicate that message to a faculty member. So let's assume you don't have a working relationship with your professor or advisor or boss even. These ideas will apply in all of those contexts. First things first, this is a professional interaction and you should treat it as such. But here's the rub. And this is why I'm making this video. There's a lot of ideological differences about the status and social function of email that exist amongst faculty, staff, administrators, students, and the business and professional world more generally. For some folks, an email is an electronic version of an analog letter. It should, therefore, under this media ideology, mimic the form of a letter. As such, a proper email would include a salutation or a greeting, a body, a kind of formulaic and complimentary closing, and a signature at the end. An email that does not conform to this sort of standard or doesn't employ formal language is viewed as a bad attempt to communicate. Your recipient won't be focusing on the content and substance of your message, but rather they might be annoyed with or insulted by the form and tone of the message. See how that's a problem for you? They're not focusing on what you're saying, but rather how you're saying it. Now, on the flip side of that, some faculty members might think of an email less as a digital letter and more like a text message or some other form of instant messaging platform. Think Discord, Slack, WhatsApp, or even DMing someone on Instagram, TikTok, or whatever. So if you take nothing else from this video, I want you to remember this. When you're emailing a professor or a boss, especially if you don't have a working relationship with them already, imagine that every communication you have with them has a formality scale or a slider. On one end of the spectrum is pure formality, wherein your communication sounds like it was written by someone who just discovered steampunk.
Dearest Professor Hale, I find myself in quite the predicament. Just over 2 hours have passed since our last email correspondence, and yet you have not written to me with your decision of whether you shall increase my grade from a paltry C to an A, which I feel is much more in line with my stature as an A student. Sincerely, that one student who just sort of stopped coming to class.
And on the other end of the spectrum, we have students who email professors one-sentence messages composed mostly of typos and emoji. Dearest bruh, I forgot how to computer. Please accept this 3-page trim paper that was supposed to be 15-page in length and was due 5 weeks ago. Crying emoji, laughing emoji, crying emoji. Lol. When in doubt, you should err on the side of formality. Then, if your professor responds informally, it's probably okay to shift that formality scale down to the lower register. Okay, so that's the broad takeaway message here. Now, let me give you some very specific suggestions for writing a good professional email to your professor. Before you send your email, make sure that you don't already have the answer to your question you're about to ask. Check the syllabus, review instructions, look at due dates, all that stuff. If you have solved your problem, great. Don't send that email. If you haven't, it's time to construct your message. So before you compose your message, be sure to use an appropriate email account. Generally speaking, you should communicate with your instructors using your official university account. If, for whatever reason, you email your professor, or maybe it's a faculty member that you'd like to work with at another institution with an alternative email, do not use an account with an inappropriate address. Seriously, I cannot tell you how many times I've received formal, extremely well-written emails from students or prospective students from an email address like noobmaster69@gmail.com. The next thing to consider is this. You need to write a concise but informative subject line. You might include your name, year, course name, number, or your specific goal in the email, something like question regarding homework, request for a letter of recommendation. Faculty get a lot of emails, so this helps them to find and to understand your message. Now this one's really, really important. When you address your instructor, use the correct title. So to make sure that you get this right, do a quick Google search or look in your university's directory for the name of the person that you're trying to contact. If it's a professor, you might call them Professor so-and-so or Dr. so-and-so. These titles allow you to bypass potentially using the wrong pronouns, insulting someone by calling them the wrong title, and on top of this, make sure you spell the person's name right. So your email ought to open with a formalized greeting or salutations. You can go with a classic dear, insert appropriate title and person's last name, comma. That works, sure. I personally don't like saying dear. I don't know why, but it feels weird, so I usually opt for title, last name, comma. All right, so moving on to the body of your message. Another big important point here, brevity. Keep your email tight and focused. No one has time to read a 7-paragraph email. Please don't do that. In the body, you might open with some niceties that allows you to acknowledge that you are in fact a human being yourself and that you're communicating with an entity that you recognize as a fellow human being. Something as simple as, I hope this email finds you well. At the start of the semester, I'll often respond to this kind of nicety with a brief comment about how I am in fact doing well. But at the end of the semester, when life gets heavier, let's say, I'll often make and include memes like these that are appearing on screen. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to download those and use them yourself. They're handy. Okay, so niceties aside, a practical consideration here. Your professor gets a lot of emails from a lot of students, not to mention other faculty, staff, administrators, and so on. So I'd recommend that you identify yourself at the very start of the body of your email. So you could open with a nicety, hope you're well, and then something like, my name is, insert your full name here. I'm enrolled in your class name / number, maybe the section number if your professor's teaching multiple sections of that course, maybe even include the scheduled days that the class meets or the times in which it meets. After that, state your problem or concern, make your ask, keep it short and on message, avoid excuses, don't write a novella, compose a message here, and then I'd recommend that you read it aloud a few times, whittling away at any and all extraneous words until you have the minimum number of words that still communicates whatever it is that you're hoping to get across. After you've got your message across, thank your interlocutor for their time, expertise, energy, work, help, or advice. Then close out that message with a good old-fashioned best regards, sincerely, thank you, or the academic's darling farewell, best, and then just a comma. You can then add your signature if you want to, run spell check, read the message aloud to yourself, take a deep breath, and then hit send. After that, you wait. If for some reason you don't get a response, it can be fine to send a follow-up email. You can say something like, just wanted to touch base, following up, checking in, following up on my previous email. This way you can close the loop on your communication, so to speak. But here you might find yourself in a bit of a predicament. How long do you wait until you send that follow-up? Well, that varies. I'd say wait at least 24 or 48 hours for almost any and all messages. Oftentimes, a professor will include a section in their syllabus about email response times. Read it and respect it. If your email is about a matter that isn't time sensitive, maybe give it a week or more. If it's time sensitive, you might send a follow-up sooner. There's no one-size-fits-all answer to this, I'm afraid, so just use your best judgment. Just always be kind and clear. Last thing, it's time for that rapid-fire list of things to avoid, the don'ts of emailing your professor. Number 1, don't ask questions that are answered in the syllabus or that you should already have the answer to. Number 2, avoid making demands. Ask, don't command. Number 3, don't email with excuses about why you missed class for like 3 weeks. Number 4, don't guilt trip or gaslight your professor. Number 5, yes, we did stuff in class despite your absence. Contact a peer, review the material that you missed. Number 6, please don't ask for extra credit via email over and over and over again. Number 7, if you're angry, draft out your email in a document file, Google Docs, Pages, Word, wherever, just not in an email application. Leave it for a day or two, cool off, review your document later. Honestly, I would use the speech-to-text function on whatever device you're working on. Listen to it. More often than not, I suspect you'll decide that the email isn't worth your time or energy. Maybe you've changed your mind altogether. This is good advice. Number 8, don't forget professors are human beings with complicated lives too. Number 9, please don't email faculty on weekends or holidays or at 2 a.m. if you can help it. And if you do, understand that they might not reply during those non-working hours. Number 10, reply all is a button with a sacred function. This goes for faculty to faculty communication as well. So please don't hit reply all to a university-wide email or for a project or a committee correspondence, whatever it is, to reply lol or to post a meme, no matter how dank you think it might be. Just remember, reply all is a powerful, troubling tool. Use it wisely. And the same goes for CCing someone. Also use that wisely. Just don't be passive aggressive. All right, that's it. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, leave a comment, share this with people you think might find it useful. Have a great day and good luck with your inbox.